Nick, thank you for coming to Inspire 2012. It's lovely to have you here. What are the benefits of an event like Inspire to local businesses?
Well, I'll tell you that over the last couple of years, during this tough time, I've been to a lot of towns and cities. Let me offer you Doncaster, where the people of Doncaster, the businesses of Doncaster, have got together and said, listen, we're going to fight this recession together. And they're doing a great job. Similarly at Gatwick, the Gatwick Diamond Club, all the businesses around Gatwick have got together and forged, I suppose, a club in a way. Yeah. Similarly in Swindon, yeah, and Kent. Visit Kent. All the tourist people in Kent have got together, and what you're doing here in Basingstoke is the same thing. You're clubbing together to forge some sort of relationship with each other, which together, you know, will create a momentum for Basingstoke to attract business to Basingstoke, to, you know, spread the Basingstoke message. Let me tell you, you think you've got problems? Go to Doncaster. I think what you're doing here is a great job. I drove through Basingstoke today for the first time in well, I don't know how long. I thought I had landed in Seattle. It was incredible. And here you are in the sort of Thames corridor, you know, and with the initiative and drive that this organisation has got, I can only see that it'll improve the situation for you.
And is that what it's all about? Getting people in a room, not just emails, but actually face-to-face as well and working it out?
Absolutely, but actually also, you know, you spread a sort of an energy amongst yourselves, yeah? And you get a sort of a common theme going, and you get a sort of a strength in numbers, I suppose, and ideas are exchanged and all the rest of it. But also, instead of all rushing off doing your own thing in small ways, the group has greater power, yeah? Marketing power, greater reach, all of those things. So it can, you know, looks like a great deal to me. And
you touched on it there as well. In a difficult time, is it easy to say, no, rubbish, it's no good? Is it easy to do that? Is that one of the reasons we find ourselves in trouble? Is it the right thing to do to fight it?
People say, oh, I don't know, it's all very difficult, you know, we're in a recession, I think I better keep my head down and wait until it's all over. Absolutely not, because actually there are great opportunities in a recession, great opportunities for people with focus and drive and a little bit of money maybe, but an idea. And on the Apprentice, for instance, what we do, I know it's a sort of a small example, but each of the tasks that we have now are all about setting up a business with a minimum of capital. As long as you've got a good idea, energy, drive, enthusiasm, passion, all of those things, you can start a business now. And those people who are laid off now, you know, maybe made redundant, terrible thing to happen to anybody, of course it is, but they should sit down and think, hello, what we've got here is a moment in time when I am able to make a decision. Am I going to look for another job? Am I going to sit on my backside and sob? Or am I going to actually say, what am I good at? Couldn't I start something myself? And now is the time to do that.
And that was going to be my next question as well. If someone, say, has been made redundant, often very highly educated, do they look for a job in their field, or do they take any job, almost swallow a bit of pride, just so they've got a job? Or I mean, what would you advise in that respect?
Well, I mean, you know, it depends on the circumstances, of course. People need to work maybe because they need the income to put food on the table, yes? And so maybe, you know, they may have to take a job that is not ideally suited to them, or they may want to use all the experience that they've gained over the years to start something on their own. But I would say to them, you know, working is a whole lot better than sitting on your backside, you know, with a hanky.
Now, now you're here, I couldn't not ask you about The Apprentice. And in this context of business, people running down The Apprentice, do they miss the point that at least it's getting people interested in business? Of course
they miss the point. Listen, if you really want the greatest business program in the world, yes, you jump on a plane and you go to Harvard or Yale or Princeton or Stanford or Oxford or wherever it is, you get the most brilliant business students and you put them on the television and it'll be so boring that it'll go out at 3 in the morning.
No one will watch it.
Nobody will watch it. So what the Apprentice is, it's a business program wrapped in an entertainment package. So it's in a sort of it's a solvent, you know, for business, and I think it does a great job. We want people to watch it, and to do so, it's got to be entertaining, which is why we get 7, 8, 9, 10 million people watching it, right? So people will say, it's not really business. Do you know something? They will watch it. And I know from going to schools around the country and talking to young people, business is now such a hot subject. because of things like The Apprentice, because of Dragon's Den. He's doing a great job, yeah? So, there we are.
There's a lot of people on it who are very loud, very forceful. Does it not suggest that you need to be that way to make it in business? Can you do it the quiet way?
Yes, of course you can. The point is that the people all seem to be a bit loud and obnoxious on the Apprentice because they've got to be extrovert and rather, strong people. Otherwise, they'd burst into tears and run home to mummy. It's a very tough process. And to get noticed, to get auditioned, we get 10, 15, 20,000 people applying. You've got to stand out. You stand out because of the impression you make on the producers. Okay, now you're in the show. Let me tell you, I know these kids, and we've had more than 100 of them going through. Out of the show, they're great people, and some of them have become great personal friends of mine. Of course, they've got to be noisy. If you were locked up in that house for 12 weeks, yeah? You'd be noisy too. You'd have to be noisy.
I've got one more question for you. When Lord Sugar makes his firings, do you ever think, what has he done? What on earth was that to say? Do you ever disagree?
Yeah, occasionally you might, and more often than not, you suddenly discover he's right. But there are occasions when you might think, well, I'm not sure about that. But generally speaking, he's a great judge of character, actually. Great judge of character. And in all those, I don't know, was it 8, 9 years now, maybe 2 or 3 you might think, well, they should have been given another chance. By and large, he gets it right.
Thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure.